Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. Taking a look to start out Up to Speed Live today with some video that some of our team shared us from the Mid-Atlantic South area. They are reconnecting a submarine fiber cable that got damaged in the Pamunkey River near Richmond, Virginia. I mean, how often can you say in your day job you got to take a little swim to do some work? The damage was done. They repaired it quickly while floating on a barge in the river. What a great job done by multiple groups on our wireline network team to minimize the customer impact and get folks reconnected. That's a cool thing to do right there. I mean, that just amazes me that they're doing that work right there. But anyway, here we are with Up to Speed Live today. We've got Hans and Christy joining us. It is 12 up, straight up noon here on the East Coast, Wednesday, June 24th, for those folks still following along at home. I want to get over to Hans to get the latest updates from him. Hans, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Hi, Jeremy, and hey, all V-teamers. Hey, what a great sight to see these guys taking a swim to fix the customer's connection. It's just amazing to see. And I also was happy to see that they wear their masks and they when they were working with all the procedures that we have talked about. So I was excited to see that movie. On the other side, we continue with our health and safety priority, as you all know. Christy will talk a little bit more about it later on. And if we talk about the US right now, we see this pandemic spreading in different places that we haven't seen equally much impact before. So I just caution all of you again. I repeat myself all the time, but remember all the safety rules and principles we have and the social distancing and mask and all of that. We care so much about you, the V-teamers, our customers that we're dealing with. We just need to continue to have that sort of ground rule and fundamenta in our business today. And I know that many of you have that, so I just want to reiterate it. And also great to see our frontline employees doing a great work out there. And since we spoke last time, spoken probably to 5 or 10 different customers, and all of them are giving us a lot of compliment, both how the network has kept up, but also how the frontline V-teamers actually are treating the customers in times like this with respect, but also thinking about the safety rules that we have. So thank you all for that. It's great to see. Speaking about the network, a lot of things are happening in the network. We, of course, are running now like a business as usual with all the evolution. Last week, at the end of it, we had our strategic initiative review. We reviewed the fiber rollout, the 5G mobility, the 5G mobile edge compute, the 5G home projects, and see where they are. And the team are doing a great job, I mean, both in the field, but also the engineering part of it. And important things, we did the tests on DSS. I'm not sure we have talked so much about it, but DSS is the dynamic spectrum sharing. It's a feature in the mobile network that actually gives us the opportunity to run 4G and 5G at the same time. And we have said earlier this year that we're gonna do nationwide coverage this year, and we're gonna use DSS. And so the test we're doing right now, they're in the live network, and they're working well. So that's a good step forward from our engineering team to put in the hands of Tammy and Ronan in their commercial, see that our customer not only getting the fantastic ultra-wideband, the fastest 5G in the world, but also getting the nationwide, which is going to cover more areas than the millimeter wave spectrum. That is more in dense urban areas and stadiums, etc., and urban centers. So that's great news. At the same time, on the 5G, we also launched today a partnership with Digital Catapult, which is an innovator that's going to innovate on our 5G lab in London. We have a 5G lab in London as well, and we're so excited that we're also putting 5G labs outside the US, and our London team is excited. The VBG, the VMG team in London are working with it, of course, but we're also getting partners coming in and doing job there. And I'm going to tell you a secret as well, if you don't tell anyone, but tomorrow we're going to also launch 5G NR, which is a 5G standard in Houston. And for the ones that have good memory, which I have, I remember I launched 5G first in the world in Houston. We did that on something called 5G TF, which was our own standard. Now we're bringing the global standard, the 5G NR to Houston, and tomorrow that's going to be launched. But don't tell anyone because it's a secret, and the comms department is going to be crazy if I tell you. But so keep it to yourself. So a lot of things are happening on 5G. The team is working days and nights to see that we continue to roll out, to meet our deadlines, to meet all the customer expectations. On the business side, I think that yesterday you had Frank Bolben talking about the credit card. Very timely, great addition to our customers, which want to save money in these times, We also have launched a new prepaid service, which also addressing people that cannot afford our other plans. So now we're a prepaid plan, which actually is cheaper the longer you keep the plan. The team is constantly innovating things that is good for the customer in times like that. And I really want to compliment them with that. And I also want to compliment the work we're doing with Robocalls. We have avoided or blocked 5 billion robocalls quite recently, 5 billion. And the last 3 months, we have seen a reduction of 30% of the robocalls, which is a very normal way to have it. And we just need to find ways in the network to actually see that they are not coming through. So far, we are progressing. There are still robocalls. We're not done. And the team is continuing to work to see that that's going to be avoided to as much as possible. On the society side, 2 things to mention today. On Saturday, it's a big concert. Global Citizen is arranging that. It's to rally governments all around the world to actually support the speed up to get the vaccine to the table. And so they are investing and pushing there. We, of course, a big partner of Global Citizen, will also be part of that. And there's all the artists that you can ever dream on. So that's a virtual sort of concert happening this Saturday. And I also want to thank our VBG team that now is donating $5 million to Black-owned small businesses to see that we continue our work to support the society in these times. So a lot of things are happening. We work a lot as the executive team as business as usual and having our meetings, our review meetings, looking into the financials, we're looking into the customers, new products. We talk a lot to the different sports league, but all sports league soon want to come back in prime time. And as we are a technology department to almost all of them, we're discussing with them how to do that experience equally good as being in the stadium, which is maybe not equally the same, but you can use technology. There'll be some cool stuff coming up when the different leagues are starting up here pretty soon, we hope. That's sort of a roundup what we're doing, Jeremy, and I hand it back to you.
Thank you, Hans. Thanks for addressing the question there about the sports leagues. A lot of folks are wondering about that with the news that the MLB put out there last night. So I can scratch that question off the list and other things. Good to hear that's happening there.
I cannot tell you everything because but I can tell you we're working with all the leagues, but I cannot tell you everything yet.
Yeah. Good. And we'll let it slide, that special news that you put out there. I'll speak on behalf of the comms team. Thank you for that. Christy, want to get over to you now for your updates. I know still a lot of conversation about return to work. So please take it away. Christy, how are you?
Jeremy and Hans, I'm great. It's great to be here with you both today. And shout out to all the V-teamers. Jeremy, what I thought I would do is just kind of put together a recap of where we've been, what we've been piloting, and where we're going for July 6th and beyond, and kind of cover that for all the V-teamers. We've had a lot of questions from our Pulse survey. And so I'm going to share a couple of slides that I think summarize that. These slides will be available on the COVID webpage. And so with that, let me just jump in. And if the team could pull up slide 1, really just want to highlight what you already heard from Hans, which is our top priorities and how we've approached this from the beginning, which is we want to care for the health and safety of our V-team, maintain the reliability of our networks for our customers, and then we want to help society recover and become even more resilient. And we've had a phased approach. Phase 1 was really responding to the crisis. From March through June, we modified a lot of our work processes to be able to continue to do those things during COVID. And now we've announced in the middle of May that we were moving to phase 3, which would really carry us from now through to September. And so if we look at the next slide, slide 2, how have we been thinking about this transition? And what we've shared is that we have, for the retail teams right at the top of the page, we've been gradually reopening stores based on customer demand. Any store that's open will continue to adhere to our current touchless retail protocols, which include social distancing, one-on-one employee and customer ratios, face coverings for both employees and our customers. And also, in some locations, we've been piloting touchless curbside pickup. And so please know, we're very aware of, and we follow daily, what are the situation with COVID cases throughout the world and throughout the country here. And we know that we're going to be living with COVID, and we're constantly innovating the ways that we can deliver these services in a way that keeps everybody as safe as possible. Next, our technicians at the top of the page right there with retail, they've returned to performing work in customers' homes and businesses, and we're really pleased with the results. As you know, in order to keep the world connected, our frontline teams have been out there throughout this entire crisis with all of the improved safety protocols, but we had pulled back on home dispatches. We began to introduce those. We've implemented a comprehensive series of customer checks to ensure critical safety protocols like social distancing, face coverings are followed. We also have made face masks, gloves, sanitizers, wipes, and shoe coverings available for our team. And for associates working from home and who are home garaging, we hope to communicate soon any plans for that beyond June 30th, which we're continuing to discuss with our partners in the unions. We will also, for the call centers, continue to work from home through September, and we're really taking all the innovations and progress from our V-teamers and figuring out how to leverage that going forward. And so what I'd like to do is shift to the next slide and talk about what are our top tips for returning to the office, in particular for that middle group of employees who are in sales or typically work in an office setting. Starting in June, we had a pilot with a few thousand employees for what that return to office would look like. We've learned from those practices, and starting on July 6th, we'll begin to be rotating into the office. So consider these next few slides your cheat sheet for return to office. The first thing I'd like to highlight is the employees in that middle group of both sales and office-based workers have been assigned to a group A, B, C, or D if they're in that type of worker category. That means no more than 25% of employees will be in the office at any one time. The schedule for those weeks is also available on our COVID webpage and will extend from July 6th through September. And again, the premise is to allow employees to access the office if they need to. This is not mandatory, and employees should talk with their supervisors and directly make sure that they're calibrating on expectations. On the next slide, we want to highlight we've created a return to office tool. And here we're able to help employees register that they're coming into the office, give them training on safety protocols that we're asking them to follow when they do return to the office, as well as a mechanism to give them training. And so this is really important. We've been piloting this tool for the month of June with the rotating office teams. We've learned a lot. We've got a new release coming out. A thing to note, you only need to complete the self-certification process if you intend to access the office. You do not need to complete it if you're working from home. Also, regarding face coverings, number 4 here, some of you will have received face coverings this week. To clarify, even if you don't intend to access the office, you will have received the face coverings. Those are issued by us. Should you need to enter the office, we want you to wear our company-issued facial coverings, and when you're moving about the building. Okay? So now let's talk about on-site protocols on the next slide. A number of you on our Pulse survey wrote in questions and concerns about what would all these protocols be, how would they be communicated, deployed, and trained. So let me just share a few recaps of things that you may have heard already. First, our real estate and site management teams have gone above and beyond, and they've implemented an amazing set of protocols here where all of our buildings will be cleaned and disinfected at the workstations and common areas. We've got daily and weekly cleaning procedures, hand sanitizer stations. We've got markings and measurements to control the flow of people throughout the building. And we've also developed clear signage to maintain social distancing. On the next slide, you can see an example of this signage. It shows employees what are workstations that are marked to be utilized, and they're marked so that they're 1.8 meters or 6 feet apart from one another. And on the next page, we have additional visuals so people can understand. We've translated not only what workstations are available to maintain safe distancing, we also have office etiquette protocols. Conference rooms have stations marked where employees can sit and where seats should be not utilized so that we maintain social distancing. Also, office etiquette. Virtual meetings are strongly recommended. If some employees are in the office and some employees are remote, conducting the meeting where there's one person to one screen allows that virtual experience to be equal for the team, and we've known through this process that's improved the effectiveness. Finally, in common areas where there's pantries are open and marked for the flow of traffic, other food, beverage, and amenities like on-site fitness facilities remain closed. And then common areas have been marked and furniture has been rearranged to also allow for social distancing. So people should not move the furniture around and things like that in the building. On my last two slides, I want to just give you all some tips of what can you do. So if you're in the group of people that will now newly be returning to the office on July 6th, or one of the rotating weeks following that, or if you're in retail and returning to the stores, or if you're in dispatch and working on our new protocols to do customer homes, first read and understand all of our communications. We continue to make them available on our COVID webpage, and your supervisor or your HR team are readily available to assist. We also have training that's mandatory, so all employees know their protocols, so please complete the training. And then if the return to office tool is applicable for your category of worker, please register in the RTO tool on the days you intend to follow the office. And then really this is going to work when we all do this together. So please follow the guidelines for social distancing and participate in cleaning your work area. And so in closing, on my last slide, Jeremy, I just want to highlight something I mentioned last week when I was on Up to Speed, which is, the coronavirus is a pandemic and it is invisible. And what we know through the scientists and through what we've experienced so far is when we all work together as a collective, we are able to have an impact. So we want people to stay and follow the social distancing, wear their facial coverings, utilize hand sanitizer, utilize the hand washing protocols. And then we want to iterate, and you've heard this from Hans and every member of the VLC. If you do not feel well, please do not come to work. We've put in COVID leave policies and ways in which our employees will be compensated if they are suffering from COVID or exposed to COVID. So we just want to reiterate that as we're reopening and going back to further BAU, it still applies that if you don't feel well or if you've been exposed to COVID or tested positive, please do not come to the office, self-quarantine, contact us and we can help you. And finally, if you don't have a thermometer, and we're asking people to not come in the office if they have a fever, we are able to provide you one, and there's an employee resource page with more information on how to get one sent to you. And so, Jeremy, I know that I covered a lot there, but wanted to just bring together the whole arc of everything we've put together for the phases of COVID, where we are, recognizing all the various categories of workers, our overarching safety principles, and that really to go to this next phase, it's going to require all of us working together.
Good. Christy, thanks so much for the return to office updates there. I want to hit this one quick question with you that seems to come up time and time again, Christy. Face mask. We've sent the face mask to folks, and those are the masks that folks should be wearing if they go into a Verizon location, correct?
Correct. We would like you to wear our company-provided facial coverings.
Good. Just wanted to be very clear about that. Keep getting some questions. So there's that. All of the information will be available on the web. And like Christy said, this is still an evolving situation as more states are seeing more cases. So we will keep a watch on that. Now, before we get into some more Q&A, and by the way, if you have got questions, send them to us at live@verizon.com. I want to share a video from one of our teammates down in Wilmington, North Carolina. Chris Makanda is a customer care rep, an extraordinary journey, a mother of two, a Navy vet, part of the LGBTQ community. And it's not gender or sexuality that defines Chris, but the way that other people are treated. Take a look at this video.
My name is Kristen Makanda. I'm a Navy veteran, mother of two, I don't like to classify myself as one gender. I feel like that spectrum is so fluid. Today I might feel like a princess with my daughter when we do a tea party. Tomorrow I might feel like a big old lumberjack when I'm chopping firewood from a fire pit. When I was in the Navy, Don't Ask, Don't Tell was really, really big, and it was something that we kind of lived in fear of. Well, it wasn't until I got to Verizon where I was allowed to actually think about what made me comfortable. And I still don't have to feel about how's this going to affect me, how's this going to affect my progression, am I going to be ostracized? It's a great feeling. The fact that Verizon educates people, there's resources on our website, on how to have that conversation. Because if you don't work for somebody that has LGBT resources like Verizon, especially in a right-to-work state like North Carolina, I've lost a job because I wasn't feminine enough. Verizon has made it so I don't have to have that anxiety. I'm the event coordinator for the Wilmington, North Carolina board for PRISM. We actually had some pretty big opportunities to do some outreach in the community. I have the contacts in the community because I was a national title holder drag king, and I made these contacts with clubs and activists, entertainers, writers, poets. And for a company like Verizon to take those skills that you learn as a networker, as an entertainer, and to use it to get more involved in the community, it means a lot. Wilmington has a history that's not really spoken of about racial tension. And so it's been kind of this everyday building to get that history re-recognized. My daughter's father and the other organizers, Black Lives Matter Wilmington, they have permits to protest every day from 12 to 9 p.m. every day to the end of the year. Verizon has proven that they're going to do the right thing. When I saw Hans to the $10 million to the specific agencies and companies that, are in the forefront of the movement, and give that statement that this is the right thing to do and this is where Verizon's going, despite what anyone else were to think, it really made me feel like me as an employee, whether I'm a small employee 2 years in, to employees all over the US, even other countries, since we have partnerships with other countries, that we matter. Right now, there's this huge heteronormative idea of the people that are being affected by these protests. It transcends that. Gender is just like the secondary kind of subtitle, because at the end of the day, most African Americans we are Black first, we are everything else after that. If we can't honestly have a conversation involving all lives, then again, it just kind of erases that narrative that all lives matter. You have stories that aren't being told. The same time that George Floyd happened, a African American trans man was shot by police in Florida. There's also that fear and that double impacting nightmare of, if you're involved in a situation and you don't present as the gender that they assume you're supposed to be, your whole existence gets erased. It's scary, and most people like me just kind of keep our heads down anyway. And it's just to add a level of fear. We want change to happen. We're going to have to be the educators. You just got to be upfront and have that conversation. You got to be able to stand up for yourself and say that I matter first. And this is why I matter, and you have to hold it with pride.
Chris, thank you so much for sharing your story and being a leader for your local community and our community as a whole. When we talk about everything that people are going through today, it's incredible to see that. And I want to follow up to Hans with a question about this. Hans, you see stuff like this happening, you hear these stories. What more can we do as leaders in the industry and in the world as a company like Verizon?
Awesome. We can do that. I mean, just so great to listen to Chris and hearing about both the history and how she thinks we're doing and what we should do. I mean, this is not the time when you do a measurement on. I think that's very important. I think we have started a conversation and a listening as a company, and that is really what's going to lead to meaningful actions and understanding. And as I have said so many times, I mean, my life experience is very different from this. I mean, being a Swede coming from the northern part of Europe, I need to listen a lot. I have a lot, and both internally and talk to a lot of thought leaders externally. I'm also in this subcommittee at the Business Roundtable, which is the 150 largest companies in the United States, where we are discussing inequalities and racial injustice and how we as leaders should come together. And I can tell you the conversations are really deep and they are tough, because some of it we don't even know. We are experts helping us and how we're going to confront them. But I've never seen so much engagement around it. And I think that's the most important for me right now, that we allow, we talk, and for some of us, we need to listen much more than talk. And I think we're going to see a lot of good coming out of this for our company, for individuals, but also for the country, hopefully. We should do our part. We are a big employer. Diversity inclusion is sort of in the forefront of our core values as a company, and it's also my personal core values as I've been moving around in many cultures and different places. So this is important. I think we are in a place where conversation and listening just need to continue, and that will lead to even more meaningful actions. And as you heard also last time when Christy and Rose talked about the ERG and how they now have doing a lot of work and engaging a lot. I think it's good to see. But again, this is nothing you can say it's solved. This is a long-term work that has to be done in our corporation, with individuals, in the market, in the country. So let's continue that work.
Yeah, I think summed it up well there. Give time to listen to what is being said and reflect on that. Hans, before we wrap up today, final thoughts for you, please.
Thank you. Yeah, I think, first of all, I would like to thank Christy and the team that is working with so tediously with all the details. There are millions of details to think about when you come to return to office and all of that. And safe and healthy is on the number one priority. Just the VLC are meeting, nowadays we meet 3 times a week. Only discussing these type of things, and this is at top of the mind of the whole executive team. The discussions, what we're hearing. So again, all the engagement coming from you, V-teamer, is so important, so we take the right decisions. So, and the engagement has just been terrific. I mean, we run up to speed every day nowadays, and we've done it, I'm not sure, it's 14 weeks, and the engagement and how many viewers we have is just amazing. That tells me that you want to engage, you want to give us insights on your situation. Talking about your situation, many of you have now been at home, work from home, 14, 15 weeks. It starts to get a little bit boring in some cases. I just ask all of you, keep the V-team spirit and the V-team sort of collaboration up and talk to each other. Think about who I haven't just talked to for a couple of weeks, because suddenly you come into this and it becomes business as usual. But think about how many of us sitting home alone and working. Just the small interaction is so needed. That goes also for family and friends, because suddenly you come into this work, So please do that. And to the team out there that never work from home, I mean, the retail store employees, as well as the team members being in the front line for engineering and deployment, you just continue to follow the rules and the regulations we have. And I couldn't be more happy to listen to Christy with all the details, recommendation, the rules we have, the policies we have, regardless where you are. And of course, remind all your colleagues about them all the time if somebody's not following it. That's a responsibility you have, I have, all of us have as a V-teamer. So I think that's where we are right now. So once again, V-teamers, thank you very much for doing what you're doing every day. If that is in the front line, or if it's from home, if it's business as usual, or it's a crisis mode, you're just doing a great job. We just need to continue through this crisis, and we just need to see that our customers get the best support and the best network and the best products and applications. That's so important in these times. Besides, of course, the number one, safe and healthy for our employees, the V-teamers. Jeremy, back to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hans. Thank you, Christy, for joining us. A lot of news there today, like Christy mentioned, on the resource pages for you, where you can find all that information here shortly. I want to cover off on a couple of things before we wrap. Chris, if you want to go ahead and take the next slide here. A lot of folks are asking about one of these shirts. Now, we have one available starting right now. in support of racial justice. Our Bold Employee Resource Group helped with the design. You can see Diego wearing it yesterday during his all-team meeting, but all shirts now available at 1010design.com/Verizon. That is an African-American business owned and operated by a female. All shirts $21, $5 goes to the National Urban League, who we have supported time and time again. The next slide, Hans mentioned it, Global Citizens Global Goal Unite for Our Future is this weekend. Quite a lineup of artists and acts and performers and appearances that'll be there, globally televised and digitally streamed. You can obviously watch that across all of our platforms, including our own Yahoo, and the concert will be also broadcast on TV. You can check your local listings. And finally today, I want to end with this. Thanks to the teams out there who continue to share their photos of their walks for racial justice. Jen Simmons, a dear friend, shared this with me. She's part of the digital operations team out on their walk earlier this week. You can always sign up for these opportunities at verizon.com/volunteer. So a lot of good things happening, a lot of things going on in the world. We'll continue to keep you updated. We'll be back with you again tomorrow. And until next time, you're up to speed.